A year ago, she was in charge of 350 detectives in the Nassau County Police Department. Now, she's the boss of 50,000 employees in the biggest police department in the country.
NYPD Commissioner Keechant Sewell, the first woman to be New York City's top cop. And less than a year later, her department's main objective, to stop crime. It is now the biggest issue facing the city and every election that's underway.
Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Johnson talking with the 45th Police Commissioner one-on-one.
How are you today? Good. Hello, how are you? You too. Okay.
It's one of the hardest jobs on the planet.
So what's going on, Commissioner?
A lot, as I'm sure you know.
Police Commissioner Keechant Sewell is not the type to let the dust settle under her feet. Entering the 181st Street subway station brings us face to face with New York's underground reality.
That's probably one of the issues.
It is, I'll tell you, we're not going to arrest our way out of this, right? There are people in the subway that should not be living in the subway. There are people who are living on the streets in the city who shouldn't be living on the streets in the city. There's got to be another answer. It's not just the police department. It's going to take all of us working together to resolve these issues.
I asked, how can you make New Yorkers feel safer underground?
It comes down to visibility, putting our officers into the transit system. We've surged a number of officers into the system so people have the visibility.
A lot of great camera stuff. Does that really impact what these people do?
Well, cameras help in our apprehension, and I think that's important too. When you have an apprehension, you prevent future victims down the line.
The conversation turned to the concerns of New Yorkers, which she's anxious to hear.
I love talking to people. I have this, I think that is so important that we connect with the people. I want them to tell me what they need from their police department, and that's so important.
From crime below ground to the streets, the commissioner is using every resource at her disposal.
These people that are jumping off the mopeds, they're jumping off the bicycles, getting out of stolen cars.
And a lot of times those bikes have fake plates or no plates, so they're difficult to track. We seize a generous portion of them.
Because some crimes are hard to stop, I asked Commissioner Sewell about returning to the days of stop and frisk.
It was being overused,
right,
but it is a legally permissible stop and it is effective. New Yorkers are smart people. If you stop a person, explain to them what the situation is, especially if you unfortunately stop the wrong person, explain to them why.
Oftentimes, the commissioner took time to greet her officers on the street.
Hello, you got your hand up. How are you, gentlemen? How are you?
And posed for pictures at the fruit stand while sharing her recipe for Brussels sprouts.
A lot of people misunderstand the Brussels sprout. It's actually excellent when you cook it right.
Commissioner Sewell tells me she wanted to be a lawyer but finds this work more rewarding, and adds if the NYPD and New Yorkers work together, crime will be reduced. She's confident about that.
Cooperating with the police department is key. Being the eyes and ears, that force multiplier that we need to keep the city safe is truly something that we rely on New Yorkers for. You can come on in. Come on in. Absolutely. Come on. How are you? Come on in. Hello. How are you?
The police commissioner tells me she knows she has a lot of work to do, but won't stop until everybody in this city feels safe.